One of my favorite vegetables is cabbage. I like it fried, I like it steamed, I like it boiled, I like cabbage soup. I just like cabbage. Hi, I'm Jill, but you might know me as This Old Gal. So today I'm going to show you how to make a very easy pressure cooker buttered cabbage. It's simple. You're going to take a cabbage like this and we're going to pressure cook it. We're going to add some seasonings and it's going to be fantastic. What's also great about this recipe, it's perfect for a low-carb diet. So those of you following a low-carb diet or keto diet will be thrilled to have a wonderful side dish that goes with pretty much everything. You can also add in some sausage and make other meals from a cabbage. You'll find a bunch of cabbage recipes on my blog, thisoldgal.com. So we're going to start with the cabbage. Now you can use any size cabbage you like. This is a pretty big cabbage. I may not use all of it because it's so big. So you'll adjust your ingredients and the measurements according to size. You ready to get started? Here we go. As you can see, there's only a few ingredients, so this is going to go fast. To the cooking pot, we're going to add 1/8 cup of chicken broth. Next, we're going to add in salt. You can either use Himalayan pink salt or sea salt. I like to use white truffle salt. So we're going to add a big teaspoon. That's a half, and that's another half. Next we're going to add nutmeg. I'm using a whole nutmeg. You can use grated if you'd like, and I'm going to use the microplane. So take your nutmeg, and you want about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Nutmeg is very, very strong, so don't go crazy with it. Now we're going to add freshly ground black pepper. About 1/4 teaspoon. If you like more black pepper, add more black pepper. We like black pepper, so I usually add a little bit more than 1/4 teaspoon. Actually closer to 1/2 teaspoon. Next, we're going to cut up the cabbage. You can see that the cabbage is, I've cut it in half and quartered it. So you just want to rough chop the cabbage. It's going to shrink a lot as it cooks, so just rough chop it. Just like that. That's all you need to do. And put it right into the cooking pot. Kind of break it apart with your fingers. Because the cabbage shrinks so much, if you wanted to add more cabbage, go ahead and fill it up. It will shrink down quickly. All right. Lastly, we're going to add some butter. So you can add the whole 6 ounces of butter now, or you can add some of the butter and then add the rest after we remove the lid. I'm going to add almost all of it. So I've added in probably about 4 ounces because I like to add more in after. Now this is a very, very large cabbage, so I'll probably end up using about 1/2 stick of butter. So let's just start with this. Now we're going to lock on the lid and close the pressure valve. Make sure it's pushing away from you. And I'm going to set the pressure cook time for just 1 minute. And there we go. Cabbage cooks super duper fast. So 1 minute, and then we'll do just a short natural release time, and then we'll release the rest of the pressure. Since there's such a short pressure release time, you're going to want to toggle the valve back and forth to release the rest of the pressure. That way you don't just flip it and the steam goes everywhere. So I've done that, and we're going to release the lid. Looks nice. So you can see that the cabbage is nicely cooked, you know, and we only used a little bit of liquid because the cabbage releases so much liquid. So give that a mix. So now we're going to add in the rest of the butter. Add that in there. And let that melt in. You know, at this point you're going to want to taste it and see if you need more salt or pepper. Now what I like to do is, you know, I use the truffle salt. When I cooked it, I like to use it. I'm going to link below where you can get this if you're interested. If not, just use the sea salt or Himalayan salt. So what I do is after it's cooked, I like to add more salt, but I like to add pink Himalayan salt. So I'm going to add that in now. Just gives it a nice taste. And pink Himalayan salt is good for you. I'm going to add a little bit more salt in. Just like that. That's good. And I'll give it a mix, and the butter is melting. Look at that. It looks very good. Now what's awesome about this recipe is I've just shown you a very, very basic way to cook this with just a few ingredients. The nutmeg, the salt, the pepper, the butter, and the broth. So you can change this up each time you make it. Like for instance, if you want to make an Italian version, you might want to add some Italian seasonings. Or if you wanted to add a Cajun version, you would add various Cajun seasonings. So this is just a base recipe, but it's delicious. We usually eat it just like this. Also, to add some health properties to it, you could even add some turmeric, which I like to do. You can see my wooden spoon is kind of yellow from the turmeric. Alright, so this makes a nice side dish. Now it's really good, so be careful if you're doing low carb that you don't take too much. There's a tendency to want to eat it a lot. And you see how much that big head shrunk down. So let me put some into this bowl, to a serving platter. There we go. Show you what this looks like. See, that's delicious. You can even add more butter if you wanted to on top of this and just let it melt in. It's just fabulous. There's a bunch of recipes on the blog for other uses for cabbage. There's actually one similar to this that has sausage in it, which is delicious. That's one of our favorite low-carb meals. You know, if you don't know what to eat that night, you haven't planned, it's so easy to just throw the cabbage in and some sausage and some seasonings. Look at that. It's fantastic. Put that down here. And then I'll put a little bit on a plate here. Just to taste it. Now it's very hot, so I'm going to have to wait a couple of seconds. Now when you release the pressure, when you toggle back and forth, it's going to take about 2 minutes, so don't get impatient, but just toggle it so that it doesn't come flying out at you. Yum, this is delicious. And you can see with only the 1 minute cook time, the cabbage is perfectly cooked. Now if you like a softer cabbage, go ahead and either do 2 minutes and then release it after the 4, or do the 1 minute and wait 4, 5, 6 minutes, because during the natural pressure release, it will continue to cook. So let's see how buttery this is. Look at all that pepper. See, I like a lot of pepper on this. This is really, really good. Really good. I make this a lot. Well, if you guys want to continue to see my videos, please don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe to YouTube. Give me a thumbs up, and I'd love if you'd make some comments below and tell me how much you like this video. You can follow me on Facebook at This Old Gal, and my blog is thisoldgal.com. I will have the whole written recipe there, plus I will link to where you can purchase, for instance, like the truffle salt and the microplane if you like, so that you can grate your own nutmeg. So make sure you check out the blog thisoldgal.com, and another video is coming up, so wait a second for that. Thank you so much for watching me today. Sweet butterfly dreams from my Junie Moon. Bye. See you next time.